All right. Thank you for hanging out. Welcome back. Welcome into those who are just joining us. We have game two. Now, immediately following game one here in a Choozo Randomizer playoff tournament between SoberLyte and OK Beamer. Once again, I'm Scupula, joined by Captain Stack on tracking, and those who saw the first game, I won't spoil much. You can see who won clearly, but we had Major Minor for an item distribution setting and random boss. We're going to have all the same stuff, except we're going to switch over to full countdown now. So majors can be anywhere. Majors will not be considered E-tanks. E-tanks will be minors. But there will be a little counter in the top left of the screen showing each area and how many of said majors it has. Random start as well. So this looks like Big Pink. Start at the top here. The little morph ball tunnel is taken away, and I am wrong. That is not Big Pink. That is Bubble Mountain. Varia found pretty quickly. This tend to happen whenever most of these difficulty settings, I think, kind of has to put it there. But we also have early morph, so it won't be too far away. So we had these pools of start locations set up for the Swiss rounds. I guess I missed, and I'm sure it was said, and I just missed it or forgot it, that a completely random thing was possible. I think it might still exclude the vanilla start. And a quick point of reference to game one. Yes, you can get up here without high jumping. SoberLyte doing it quite well there, actually. OK Beamer also did. So they're not too far behind each other at this point. And here we have an E-tank at Speed Booster, and just outside is a Super Missile. So, and again, you know, this is a major item at a major location, except we're in full countdown. That's not a major. It just happened to be there. So that's still an 0-1 on the counter. And for Upper Norfair, that means quite a bit. Could be anywhere. It's not raced often, but, and maybe some of you know what I mean, and there's a morph ball there right in front of the wave beam, but Zelda 3 Randomizer has a few presets that run a major item split, and in those cases, the equivalent, which would be heart containers, those are considered majors. I don't know, I guess it depends what you're used to. I'm used to not calling them majors, but regardless, there's two tanks at Choozo statues, and SoberLyte fell off there. Gave the wall jump one try. That's a tough one. I do know it's possible, but real tough. So if you get it on that one try, you just hope you don't fall down again in shock, because I probably would. And something Kago mechanic. Can't turn around when you hit that thing, unfortunately. So there's some bombs to go with that rolly ball there for OK Beamer, just in front of Norfair Reserve. Boy, that gate is a pain. And you gotta love the other one. You're either at 0 items or have no missiles, or you're missing something in the top bar, and you know you're used to clicking however many times to get to the item, and well, you only have supers, so you just shut them off. Yeah, we all do it. Some more power bombs there in the lava. And they're nice to have. We didn't even find the regular bomb module in the last match. And that tends to happen. You know, there's only one of them between, you know, the fact you have 10 power bomb packs to spread around the game. And so just, you're happy to have them. 5 means you can do things. 10 means you can do most things. Just to mention again, I do come from SMZ3 and all the soft locks are still in there. So 5 power bombs is a little bit of anxiety. You know, it occurs to me, I guess, as mentioning something about, you know, there's a major, we don't know where it is in Over Norfair, but I had just also got done saying that we had the morph pulse set to early, so you're so used to seeing morph. I don't know. Sometimes you just don't count it. I don't know. In my head, it's like, oh, it's just going to be there. It's not part of the deal. But yeah, it is, in fact, a major. SoberLyte getting out of Cathedral here. I don't know if that's still called Cathedral or the Sova room or whatever, but you can do that with a wall jump. But if you want to spend a power bomb to get up that way, you can. So we're unfortunately missing this Sova here. It's going to have to deal with it again on the way out of high jump. Knows that there's nothing but majors in here, but again, you know, a few minutes in, you want them, so. I feel like I didn't say something right there at 3:30 a.m. I was supposed to say nothing but minors. Maybe I did. I don't know. Thanks for being here, y'all. So yeah, Spazer location for OK Beamer, and that's going to be Speed Booster today, or well, this match, I guess. Sober will pick that up in short order, I'm sure. Definitely will appreciate it this go round. Still random boss, so a little touch and go when it comes to Kraid, especially with the 2 power bombs it's going to take to get in and out of there. At least 2. So we're just going to give it a shot here, especially in full countdown. You know, you could have something here, but as we see a 0 on the screen, it'll just be some more minors. Yeah. 2 to get in and out, 1 to check this thing, just some missiles. Appreciate that, Street Rat. People tell me a long time I should have been doing stuff like this. I figure it's as good a way of any to get into it. Of course, I never liked talking, but here I am. I mentioned this before tonight, but it was either this or practice seeds, and pretty much worked all day, and I didn't want to practice seeds, so I get to come in here and sound like a moron when I don't know what I'm talking about. So we got a 5 major count here in Greenbryn, which I would have noticed probably a minute and a half ago if I was paying attention, but none so far. And yes, vanilla map, no area rando here. We got run this over again, full countdown. Majors scattered wherever of the 100 locations in the game. At this point, I should just go read it. Full countdown, no area, random boss. So yeah, didn't even want to try Kraid just yet in case it was something ridiculous. I mean, there's a save room outside, but medium difficulty, which for this tournament is, this is a and it says this on a 10 beginner friendly tournament, so we're just everything's tuned down just a little. Medium difficulty, I don't think involves Variolous, Norfair, Suitless Meridia, any of that. So yeah, and the start location also was random, and that today worked out to Bubble Mountain. So that was a fun one. Do the difficulty, we had to get Varia right in the missile location, and we did, and Morph Ball was just underneath that. Beamer headed for Spore Spawn's item here. Spore Spawn, never forget. Even though that's really hard. You never see it. Comes up with Plasma, which is slightly better than the vanilla super pack you would get here typically. It's the only thing with starting south of Green Bryn, and I ran into this in my last match, is you get a few shots at the blue gate there from the back. Now, that being said, you can also farm the, if you don't know what they're called, but not the things that drop supers. You can get regular missiles. Even though supers also work, but SoberLyte gonna forgo that this time and go to Red Tower. Sometimes when you play rando, you look at stuff that just happens to you and you take it as a sign. Like, you know what, maybe I should just do this other thing. But no majors here either. Not unheard of, being as there's only Spazer and the 3 up here, so. This is why I didn't want to be practicing Seas tonight, because I know stuff like this would be getting my goat but good. Sober does come up with it, very nice. Would have a power bomb to spend to make that easier if he had any in the reserves. Thankfully, you don't need them to get out. Even if you did, there are a few enemies that drop them down here. SoberLyte just wants out of here. He's going to take his 10.55 and go see what criteria has on the old ticker. And that is going to be a 2. And the cool part about this is when you start here and then you come up this way, you can check moat. Maybe. No power bombs, unfortunately, still. Guess didn't luck out with the crabs, or didn't he try? I didn't catch it. But anyway, that does typically get isolated. And it looks like it might again, so oops. So really backing up a little to get a charge going here. Sometimes it just feels better to get through that instead of having to go up top. Okay, Beamer with Screw Tag Varia and a charge beam in hand now, finishing up Eticoon's loop. Get this bad habit of staring at one screen. Sorry for that. That's constant for me. Volunteers are just some power bombs, and we only have the 5, but I think, you know, SoberLyte making choices. Might be feeling like he's got to save every second he can here, so not going to fight BT for that. And there's Space Jump right behind. We're in reserve. The classic 1-2 punch that'll cut most room times in half or better. Vanilla tank at the Terminator location. It's 3 now for Sober. And Spazer, which, you know, there's some wacky ways around picking that up here, but none of which are really worth it if you're trying to race. So in the menu you go. Take your lumps. High five in the elevator, which is inarguably the best place for a high five. So now Sober coming up with that space jump. You're gonna have to like that anytime you find space jump, for sure. Let's probably go ahead and clean the rest of this out, and we'll like the Spazer too, just only on account of no plasma. We're going to start poking through criteria here in search of those 2 majors. That's not it. We got our 30 supers, so we're going to pass those up. Yeah, just as a... And SoberLyte missed the tricky spot there. You know, it's funny because, you know, that's in a couple of Metroid games, that kind of thing. They thought it was really funny after this one, so they did it again. Even after you know about it, it still gets us all, and it's just one of those things. So we're getting a nice entry into the minor item there, and yeah, I was gonna go ahead and take the shaft back down here. This little oft underused shortcut. Well, I say that now because we know about it, but that's clearly there, and since the developers intend you to fall down here the first time. Unfortunately, just finding some supers for the trouble, but still a little behind on the counts of that, so no real hate. Guess to jump back, you'd hate to see another fall down there for sure. Only because I do that a lot. Also, technically, Link, hi, morning, I guess. Eat your Wheaties. What are we doing here? What am I doing here? I know what I'm doing here. I wanted to call some races, so I did. It's fun stuff. It technically like watches. He never doesn't watch. Doesn't even blink. Nice placement of the power bomb there to take care of the wave door and Spospo. If he does go through the waterway here, that's going to lock Spospo again, but might be doing what Beamer did in the last round, just seeing what was down here first, see if it got reducing that counter at all. Especially without gravity suit. It's a bad room. Yeah, SoberLyte is, again, I'll assess this again this way, I think, is making, setting up to make some concessions, maybe even skip a major here and there in case it's something we don't need or want, just to try and save a few seconds, because, when you're on your elimination game, you got to do these things. And I personally, I don't do a lot of these multicasts. Well, that's not the right word, but series, I guess we'll just call it series. But I was hoping maybe to get a little quickie halftime chat and all that, but not to be. There was some stuff I wanted to ask the both of them. I'm just not. I just don't know if that's a thing that typically happens. So. At any rate, this time of the night for these runners, you just sometimes want to get moving. There's your regular bombs. So with the 10 count that Beamer has on the power bombs, that'll lighten up the need to keep picking those up for sure. It's about all it'll do. We have all of our can flies in hand, so. And wreck ship manned by Ridley today. Keep saying today like we haven't already played a match, but comfortable enough. 6 tanks, Savaria suit, and 35 on the super count. So you're gonna need, I say maybe a few more, but just didn't want to cooperate just yet. Nonetheless, down goes Ridley. One major in Lower Norfair, and since this still works out to Lower Norfair, it could have been there, but not to be, just reserved. Probably be the hardest thing to keep track of for me whenever you have an item behind a boss. So that's going to be Ridley Cray Dragon. Still attributed to the area in which those bosses are normally found. On the flip side, it gives you a major count for an area you're nowhere near yet, potentially, depending on how the bosses roll. So that's an advantage as well, if you can use it. Okay, Beamer, just missing the shot on the door cap there. Put a speedball through it, that would have been fun. Spring ball and all that. So SoberLyte here checking out Croc, and again, full countdown. You don't know what you're going to get till you walk in a door, which unfortunately locks behind you. I didn't see if he saved before coming down here, but okay. Well, that's a special one, especially in. Well, I guess it would only be here something this good in full countdown, but that's a check. I can say that. Gravity suit here, Criteria Supers. Technolink has had enough of this seed. Yeah, not gonna lie, it is a healthy chunk of items for 25 minutes. Certainly enough to get through the rest of this map here. The only thing really remaining is the issue of miner/charge. So, oh no, never mind. Charge is had. Forget it. Ice and wave might be nice, but that'll be an if we run into it sort of thing. SoberLyte finds a crate and just missed the quick kill. So up goes crate, and before I can finish this sentence, hopefully down goes crate. I finished it. Sorry. Crate stays home today. I tell you what, I really like the concept behind the what we know as a mini crate, because if you're coming off the NES, that's crate, right? It says crate, that's crate, like the door says. That's how big he was, right? And then you're supposed to run into this and get all shocked. You miss those days sometimes, but you don't want to run into that guy. We've had a few incidents with that lately. And it's it's funny. It's one of those. There's two. It's a missile susceptible enemy, so 2 missiles will do it. You think And I've done this before myself. 2 plasma beam shots would do it too. Nope, it's 3. And if you're suitless, that's like 100 damage. So. So it's Lower Norfair and Meridia. One's got Fantoon and one's got Dragon. And for variety's sake, hopefully not in that order. Let's all just take a moment to be thankful for the fact that once you have space jump, wall jumps are not disabled like in later Metroid games. Hate it. Or else it would be one more item to shut off, since, you know, that's another ability that was taken away from us. So we got one major in the entirety of this section. Still a handful of those that we don't care about, so definitely not going to see any looking going out of anybody's way to find it. I guess it's what, X-ray, high jump, wave beam. Basically, don't want any of that. Wave is okay, but I'm trying to remember now, because I know where SoberLyte is at here is going to be Ridley. I don't remember how much of the ship Beamer checked. Oh, I guess never mind, you can't, because the ship's still off. So 3 majors in here, but I guess that'll work out. Well, 2 now after this, but that'll work out for SoberLyte. I keep forgetting about the whole boss turn stuff on mechanic. That's an official term. So into Ridley here. I know SoberLyte did not know about this and is coming in with slightly reduced missile count. I'm going to give it a good shot. Can be done, just got to be careful not to tank too much. No gravity either, so emphasis on that last statement. Yeah, even sitting in the lava during pogo can be helpful, but again, without the gravity, that just hurts. Okay, Beamer going for roughly similar strats to the prior game, just tenderize and electrocute. Convection oven? I don't know. Shrimp is served. Running out of room as SoberLyte tried to sneak under the tail there, and that's tough. So, but knows it's Ridley now, so see what the decision becomes. Gonna go ahead and give it another shot. Might as well. Beamer gonna check this real quick because it's easy and it's just a missile. May choose to check this next one. It takes approximately 1 second longer. Yeah, I think he gave it a shot with the screw attack, didn't happen. E-tank, got enough, no need. So I spent enough time hating on the later Metroid games that this is one of those where it is somewhat nice, the fact that you can charge while turning around and doing other such things. When here you have to be in an animation where you're holding your arm cannon out before that timer will tick. Out of Norfair goes OK Beamer and into Meridia to deal with the final boss, Fantoon. Unfortunately, SoberLyte in Ridley 0 for 2. Reality's probably starting to creep in a little. I mean, you really can't know. I mean, you look back far enough, there was a fun race I had where just everything went wrong for everybody. So, not over till it's over by any means. So, I applaud the persistence on this one. It's a hard game. At least in my experience, though, a lot of times things either just don't go your way or they go amazingly your way to where you don't even know how you did it. A buddy of mine got Ridley locked in the floor once. You don't see it much. It's been done before, and I don't think anybody really knows how to produce it. But that'd be nice. Pogo patterns repeating itself here for SoberLyte, which is good. It's just not a lot of time to get shots off here. He's trying to save some missiles for later, as you would want to do. Just a missile above Batum Speedway, I guess. So none of the good stuff just yet. We'll check precious missiles, and I don't think we're going to see behind Dragon here, seeing as that's a transition. Also seeing as it's not Dragon. This is why you don't want me calling full area, though. I will just be spewing garbage the whole time. The boss is throwing me off enough. SoberLyte says insert disc. Beamer says have a super. You can't do anything about it. And that's a G4 done for OK Beamer. Just gotta get out of here and up the tunnel and out. So really coming back to Ridley here with a whole lot more ammo. Which is funny because I definitely had no idea where they all were sitting at, but it was not long to pick up 4 packs of them. I think this is the part where Ridley just needs to take one look and leave. Save us all the trouble. Quick little refill there from OK Beamer. Is going to need to come up with a power bomb pack. I'm guessing he knows where one is, because I know I've forgotten. Oh yeah. Yep. Now I know. What's one more boss, right? Just a warm up, you know. Have some missiles. This begins the somewhat lengthy process of having to powerbomb these Metroids. Just works out that way sometimes. Only adds about a minute, I want to say, to Turing's traversal. Sorry to report here, SoberLyte has given a DNF. GG's, to be sure. Let's see if he wants to talk with us at all, but nothing was left on the table, I can tell you that. I really gotta remember, and there must be something about the power bomb there, because I swear every time I try it in that room, it just lags so much. So maybe it's a certain position, or maybe I don't know what it is, but without wave beam, yeah, all that can be a little bit tedious, a little bit. So, let's see, Beamer's going to try a skip here, but it don't look like it. You really just need enough for the tank and the Zebs, and after that, it's charge beam all the way. Gonna chill in there, have a face-to-face, heart-to-heart mind meld, I guess. I'm gonna dump the remaining disposable ammunition into the brain and go to the charge beam. No ice, no wave. You got a little bit extra catch-up to deal with, but not anything too crazy. You can get down under 400 here and sit back and get some popcorn. So we're going to be 2 sub-hour finishes, barring anything really wacky for OK Beamer here, and you know, not terrifically rare, but with the difficulty of the siege, like the siege didn't make it do anything crazy, but you know they were a little tough in terms of loadouts headed to this or that. So energy wasn't a problem. Too much of one anyway. But keeping it to 53.4 here is going to be a pretty good result. OK Beamer is going to have to deal with the immediate threat here and get backed up to the ship. But once he does, that's going to advance him further into the playoffs with a 2-0 series victory here. He's going to be facing, from the looks of it, Exact Science in the next round. Seeding, for those curious, will be 4 versus 13, but I don't think that's going to make a lick of difference. That is going to be a matchup. So once I get that scheduled, it'll show up at speedgaming.org/Choozo, and you can check that out. And I would say keep an eye out for that one. Might get to see an animal save here on account of the DNF. I don't know. Sometimes people just don't like it. No blame. But down he goes. We'll get him out of here. I guess we have to play Fusion. Nope. Too bad. Oh, man. It's the shaky Alcatraz. I tried that the other day. It failed. One shot and you're done. But GG's to OK Beamer, now putting in a... I need to have that screen up before I start this sentence once in my life. Official racetime.gg time of 53.55. That's enough for, again, a 2-0 series win. And yeah, so everything we're missing we'll see in the credits here, of course, as usual. But after or during that, get to talk to the both of them about that. They're setting themselves up here now. So there they are. Welcome. GG Sober, GG OK Beamer.
GG's.
GG's everybody.
So yeah, I guess I don't know how really to do this on my own, but if you don't mind, I want to start with Sober just to see, you know, what would you like to share, I guess, on this? Because I mean, we were all here, but between game 1 and game 2, I mean, the gravity jump thing we had, kind of just hoping on that one, but
yeah, I know of the tech to jump out of there. I just couldn't do it. It's like I know the morph ball one, I know the spring ball one. I knew, you know, that's the only one I didn't know. And sure enough, I find spring ball right after that. I'm like, well, now I'm going back in because I've wasted enough time here.
Yeah, it's you can look. I related it to a lot of things that come up either in this game or others. That if you don't do it, you don't do it. It just doesn't come up. But yeah, essentially, you want to jump like a few frames before this thing hits black, basically. So you pause, you wait, you push it. Yeah.
Right.
What part of the game are we talking about here?
So you got stuck in Dragon in match 1. Yeah, because gravity jump. That's the other thing. We got 2 games to cover here, so yeah. I guess we should start with game 1. So I figured I'd do that. Beamer, what were your thoughts on that one, if you can recall?
Kind of straightforward. Second suit was a bit late, if I remember correctly. It was right in Norfair was gravity suit. So at that point I was thinking about if lower Norfair without gravity would be in logic. It wouldn't have made that much of a difference. Pretty much only I would have done all the major checks anyway, so it would have not been that much of a difference. But yeah, the items came up when I needed them to. Is pretty much what happened. Except of course ammo, charge, ice, any of those. And I can get a speed zap skip done eventually, but I'm extremely sucky at it, so I didn't do it and rather went for the refill with those missiles like 75. That's just one run back, so I guess that's fine.
Yeah, I remember seeing a little tappy tap in the room before, like maybe try it, like see if you can get it to stick. But you know, it's like
I just attempted once, and if it doesn't happen, then no, I'm not going out and in again.
Right. So just a little quick second of game 2, just because it's here now. Ice Beam was at, it just told me and I just forgot because it is now 4:20 a.m. What did it say? Shoot. Sorry.
I did watch my spoiler log, sorry.
Oh, maybe somebody's got it.
Gravity missile sounds right.
Missiles. So yeah, into bowling, yeah, so you're not going there.
But charging the second beam was kind of nice. Having plasma already and then actually getting charge beam was cool.
Yeah, and this is the problem I knew I was going to have talking about this, because I'm like, well, we found all this stuff. It just took 2 games. Except ice, I guess, but yeah. So game 2, of course, SoberLyte, we got to go into Ridley a little bit here. You went in there with 10. Of course, you didn't know it was Ridley. You gave it a good effort. Came back with 30, but just no gravity. Just wasn't working out with the damage you take. So
yeah, I haven't fought Ridley in quite a while where I actually have to do the pattern. Most of the time, it's like I've got enough ammo, I've got enough health, or I've got both suits. So that was something I haven't practiced in a while, and it showed for sure.
Yeah, and then high jump is another one that nobody had, but you didn't have it in game 2 for that, so that didn't help matters either. So I don't know. For me, it's a nice thing to have it Ridley at least. But
yeah,
especially when it starts swooping. It's
Really was pretty friendly for me in my second race. Wouldn't stop hovering all the time. So perfect for an ammo fight.
Nice.
Yeah, if you have the ammo, you're alright. Sober, unfortunately, had to wait on charge while turning around with the pogo constantly. You just couldn't get the shots off.
Yep.
But,
where did you die in the end?
I'm at Ridley. I just tried like 5 or 6 times, and I knew at that point, like, it's over.
All right.
So yeah.
Anyway, GG. Would
Yeah,
have
man.
liked for you to not forfeit this. It would have been cooler if you maybe could have finished it.
That's all right. It
Yeah,
happens, you know.
yeah, an opponent who, at some point you just like Sober said, you just had enough, and you just know at that point, and
Yeah.
if it
It's
stops being
it just wasn't
enjoyable,
happening tonight.
just,
It just wasn't happening tonight. That's all right.
Yep. It's GG regardless, because I know we were here, we watched, you gave it everything you had, threw it all out there, and so unfortunately this is the end of Choozo tournament for you. Any next plans regarding SMR or anything else you want to go into?
As of right now, no. I don't have anything in the works, but I'm gonna keep my eyes and ears open to see what's next on the docket. I'll probably be signing up. This was my second tournament I've ever done in the randomizer category. So
yeah, no, that's good.
Absolutely a lot of fun. I do look forward to doing it again, and thank you for doing comms, especially so late.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah, no problem. I'm typically up, and Idol is reluctant to ping. I just happen to catch him. Like, okay, let's do it. I mean, I would have done a ping there for sure whenever circumstances come up. But hey, I was here, so it's all good. Beamer, you are facing Exact Science next round. So I mentioned this before you got in here, but we're gonna mark that one down on the calendar once you get it figured out. So that'll be fun. Yeah. Any ideas on what settings you might want to try and see for that?
I haven't actually given that any thought. No, I don't know. I have to think about that. I'm not even sure if I want to go extremely easy or extremely hard. Which one would give me more of an advantage? I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
I think Exact Science is... I have a very slight advantage against Exact Science, but just very slight. So the smallest mistake will make her win that. Gotta think about that.
Yeah, well, have fun scheduling it. We'll keep our eyes open. You have a couple days to figure out settings, and then I guess whatever the two of you decide on before you... I guess, I don't know, at this point we have all of like a 1 week turnaround, don't we? So, or do we get two? I'm not sure, but either way, like I mentioned before, it's going to be speedgaming.org/Choozo. Just hit F5 every now and then and see what comes up. More than likely, it'll mostly be on SpeedGaming channels. So yeah, once again, I'm Scupula, and Captain Stack joining me here tonight on tracking, getting those buttons clicked and making sure we all know what's going on. And I know I needed the help, especially between two games. I bleed bad. So thank you for that. And yeah, GG's to the both of you. And gonna go ahead and sign off here. And as always, see you next mission.